So just fire away with whatever you got.
Good afternoon.
Good to see you.
How much are you going to miss these seniors that are graduating and stuff?
We miss them a lot. We really had some guys step up this year and play their best football. And people will talk about Tyler Sheehan and Freddie Barnes and guys like that. But Shane Steffi and Brady Minturn and Scott Albert and Jimmy Scheidler and Cody Basler and James Snyder and Brandon Jackson and Jamal Brown and Roger Williams, and we had Jarrett Sanderson. We had some very good seniors that played their best football, but that's the nature of college football, that you lose guys and you have to develop a program in recruiting that you have depth, and now it's next man up. And so we have some younger players that are going to have their opportunity, and if they take advantage of the time between now and Troy, will be in good shape. If they don't take advantage of that opportunity and get themselves ready, then it'll sting even more.
When you look back at this year, your first year here, what will you remember the most?
I just think the resiliency of this team, their mental toughness, a team that started out 1-4 and had some very, very painful losses that kept working and then found a way to win football games. And sometimes those years that you overachieve and a group of guys comes together and finds a way to do some things that weren't expected, a lot of times are the most rewarding years. And this was a very rewarding season. It was a fun year. It was a great group to coach. They showed up every day, and I think we're off to a good start.
Now, I don't think a lot of people really knew about Ohio State being on your schedule in 2011. So, the fact that you guys are going to be playing Michigan and then Ohio State, what are your thoughts on that?
Those are great games that give us a national stage. It's great for recruiting. So many players in the area that grew up watching Ohio State and Michigan, the excitement of being able to play in the Big House or the Horseshoe. It's great for our program. They're paying us a little bit of money too now. So it's good in a lot of ways.
Going back to the first question about the relationships you develop with players, is it typical for you in the first year you come into a program to develop long-lasting relationships with that senior class, even though you've only seen them for 1 year?
Well, I think with every group, there's always a handful of guys that 20 years from now I'll be in touch with, and probably a handful of them in 6 months I won't be. Just the nature of football. There's 105 guys on every team, and it was neat. Before the bowl game, I'm getting texts and emails from players I coached at Fordham and Villanova and Lehigh, 15, 18 years ago. Now I don't hear from all of them, but through the course of the years, there's certainly guys that bond continues and the relationship stays tight. And other guys, you don't see them in 10 years and you see them, it's just like old times. So it's probably no different, in 15 years when you go back to your 20th high school reunion. There's guys that you've been in touch with and guys that you haven't seen in 20 years, and you'll pick up where you left off. So I'm sure there's a handful of these guys that I'll be in touch with in 20 years, and some, maybe for a Bowling Green reunion sometime, I'll say.
On the recruiting aspect, are there any JC kids or high school kids who have enrolled early or that are here now?
Yeah, I think we have one player that's enrolled early. I'm allowed to comment on that, right, Dave?
Yeah, we got the form. So.
If he's in class and enrolled.
Quarterback Caleb Watkins from Middletown High School. He started class and he's part of our list. So he's in class now, and that's the one mid-year enrollee we have.
And now that he's enrolled, can you just talk about him, what you saw in him in the recruiting process?
Yeah, obviously he's a player we liked a lot and had in camp, and good athlete, good football player. So
that's a position that's wide open.
It is wide open. I cannot tell you who is going to be our starting quarterback at Troy or even in the spring. Tyler played every meaningful snap here the past 3 years. We were glad we were able to redshirt Matt Shills and Kellen Pagel this year. So those guys got 4 years left, and it's a wide open job. So a lot of competition there, and the best player who leads the team and can run the offense will be playing for us. And hopefully guys will start separating themselves in the spring, but this may go down all the way to the wire. It's not the rollout that a freshman could come in the fall and do it. So, whoever outworks the other guys and steps up, makes the most plays, and leads our team will be the starter. And I have no idea who that is right now.
And continuing with just recruiting, what are some of the things you're looking at or looking for in this upcoming class, just position-wise?
Just we have so many needs. As you guys know, we were shorthanded this year, scholarship-wise. We were well under our allowable numbers because of the APR issues that we had, and then we graduated a big senior class. And this will be a very big group coming in. And when you graduate 16 senior starters, you have starting jobs up in the air, and you have depth issues. So we're going to bring in basically a whole football team, plus 4.
Plan on signing 25 then, or 26?
Yeah, we'll be close to the NCAA max.
Or is there any one position other than another that you're looking at?
Well, certainly the secondary sticks out, just because we're really a 5 D-back system. We line up in a 4-2-5, and we start 3 safeties and 2 corners, and 4 of the 5 starters are graduating. Roger Williams, Jared Sanderson, Jamal Brown, and P.J. Mahone. So Adrian Spencer is the only starter returning, and so that is clearly a position of need. I think quarterback, graduating a 3-year senior starter, and offensive line just graduating Brady Minturn, graduating Shane Staffy, Scott Albert. Those are some positions that really stick out. You graduate your 2 starting linebackers, so there's a lot of needs. So that's certainly a good sell for us right now. That the line is not very long in a lot of positions. Hopefully you're not selling this. If you're selling this 2 or 3 years in a row, you're probably in trouble. So we will be a very young football team next year. I mean, we will, of our 85 scholarship players, 50 of them are going to be in their first or second year here. So I don't know if we'll be very young, but I think we'll be talented, and these guys are going to have to learn on the job a little bit, but I really think it sets up for a really bright future.
In terms of going out and recruiting this year as opposed to coming in the way you did last year, how different was it for you?
I mean, completely different. Last year we were trying to hold on to guys that had committed to another staff and add a couple to that list. And this year, we were involved with these players from the very beginning. We started, you start the process. Really, the process for this year's class started last year when we got here. And, so we're right in the middle of it now, right in the thick of it with the official visits and the home visits and the evaluation. So, that right now for the next 2 weeks, that is the biggest priority we have, is to finish this class strong. And again, the first Wednesday in February, I'll be up there celebrating and tell you, like every other coach in America, what a great class it was. And 2 years later, we'll find out how good it really is. It's the only day that every football coach wins. Signing date, they all say they had the best class, and I'll do the same thing. But the truth is how well we develop those guys, and how well they learn our system, and what we do in the weight room with them, and do we get them faster, and are they reliable, dependable, do they go to class? I think it'd really be interesting if 2 years later there was a report on, okay, you celebrated this group 2 years ago, where are they now? And we need to take great pride that the guys that we do bring in here, not only are we bragging about them when we first bring them in here, but 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later, they clearly have a positive impact on the program.